8countnews.com. Peter Zimbor here with one of the hottest prospects in all of boxing, Jose Benavidez. Jose, thank you so much for joining us.
No, thank you guys. I mean, this is an honor for you guys to interview me. It's a good honor. It's a really good honor.
Well, after a very accomplished amateur career, you've transitioned into the pros now, 2-0 with 2 KOs thus far. Tell us, what has the transition been like, removing the headgear and working with lighter gloves?
Well, it's been a really big difference because in amateur they do have the bigger gloves, the headgear, and pro, no headgear and the little gloves. And to me, you train harder. Pro is another different game, so you have to train twice as hard, probably even more, like 4 times as hard. And just, it's a whole different thing, but I like it better because you have more time to relax, pick your shots. In amateur, it's just, the time goes by so quick, you don't even get time to think. So I think pro's better.
Now, what makes you such a top-notch prospect and what makes you very unique is your age. Correct me if I'm wrong, just 17 years old, one of the youngest pros in America today.
Yeah, well, I'm just 17 years old, and actually I turned 18 probably in like 2-3 months, so I have a long way to go.
Is there any added pressure on you being such a youngster in the pro game?
Well, not really, because ever since I was like 12, 13 years old, I've been sparring nothing but pro, so I got used to that pro game already. And it's just, to me, it's just another level of advancing. It's just another level. Now I have to train harder and just hopefully one day be a world champion. Just keep training harder and harder, not let anything get to my head. Just keep training hard.
Now, your first fight was nationally televised on Top Rank Live on Fox Sports Net. Your second fight, they actually showed some highlights of it on pay-per-view. Your next fight in a few weeks will be March 12th in Dallas, Texas, just outside Dallas, Texas, the night before Pacquiao-Clottey. The main event that night, Nagy Aguilera versus Sam Peter, will be on Fox Sports Net. We're hoping that yours gets on TV as well. Tell us what you know about your opponent for this bout.
Well, right now I'm just training hard. I don't really, to tell you the truth, I don't know who I'm fighting. I'm just ready for whoever they put in front of me. I'm not saying like whatever, like the baddest guy, but just whoever. I've been training hard. I'm ready. I was actually sparring Manny Pacquiao, his main sparring partner too, Sean Porter. So I've been sparring a lot of good guys and just ready for the fight. And hopefully they broadcast it on TV. Hopefully.
As a 17-year-old, what's it like to spar a guy like Manny Pacquiao, regarded as the best fighter in the world right now?
I mean, it's crazy because not too many 17-year-olds can say not too many 17-year-olds can say they're in my shoes right now sparring top-notch fighters, Manny Pacquiao. And it's just an honor because just to get to work with him, you learn a lot of stuff. He's really fast on his feet, really fast on his hands, and I mean, you just learn a lot from him.
Now, you mentioned you don't know who your opponent is next on March 12th. TBA, I guess, is the best way to put who it will be. Is it interesting going into the pros that you don't know who your opponent is weeks ahead of time, or is it just like the amateurs when you're fighting in tournaments, not knowing who you'll be competing against from day to day?
Well, to me, yeah, it's just like the amateurs because you don't know who you're going to be competing. Sometimes you do because you've seen the fighter around, but most of the time you really don't know who they are. You just have to be ready. And to me, I think I'm ready. I've been training hard and just see what the guy has.
Now, being a 17-year-old, you obviously have plenty of time to work with in terms of progressing your boxing career, but what is the time like in your mind? When do you want to be making the jump from prospect to contender, and where do you think you'll be fighting for world titles?
Well, right now I'm really not trying to rush. I'm young, so I just want to take my time. I say hopefully like maybe 23, 24, just keep training hard because I don't want to get rushed like a lot of prospects out there. They get rushed too fast and then they end up going down. So I'm just trying to take my time. Whenever I feel I'm ready, then that'll be the day. Probably like I say 23, 24. I'm not sure yet.
We certainly got plenty of time. That sounds like a decent plan. But I want to ask you about this. You earned a lot of national titles in the amateur program, and when you earned those national titles, you were fighting against the best amateurs in the country and sometimes the world at the international level. Is it interesting to go from fighting the best amateurs in the country to fighting, journeyman club fighters at the pro level?
Well, yeah, I did fight a lot of good amateurs in the silver gloves. I fought silver gloves, like I say, 4 times. Ringside Worlds, national golden gloves, and that was a really hard tournament too. And I mean, it's just.
But is it easier to fight some of these pro guys they're putting in front of you right now, knowing that you're the star of the show?
Right now it is. I don't really take any guy lightly because one of those crazy shots, they could catch you because I've seen that a lot happen. So I try every fighter I fight, I try to put in mind that they're the best fighters out there because I don't know, one lucky shot of them, they could catch me and my career could be over. So I just try to be a lot hazardous just about the guys I'm fighting. I don't try to underestimate anyone.
Well, Jose, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. It's a pleasure for you to interview me. Thanks, man.
That's Jose Benavidez, one of the top prospects in the country right now. Catch him in action soon. Thanks for joining us here on 8countnews.com.